welcome to Salt 98.10 FM Abakaliki. And of course, it is Reapers, that time where we get to talk about things that heals our society. And today, as usual, we've come with something very interesting. And irrespective of gender, you need to hear this. All right, so welcome to the program Reports on Salt 98.1 FM Abakaliki. My name is Lovers Onyebuchi, and today we shall be looking at understanding menopause, because it seems we don't talk about menopause. I hardly hear people discuss menopause. We just know that when you talk menopause, you talk women, and I don't know if menopause is meant for women alone, actually. But in the studio today, we are going to be getting all the information we need as long as menopause is concerned. I know that while as doing my IT during the higher school days, and that's I did that at the Ministry of Information, Enugu State. Then, so one of the days I heard to women back then talking about hot flashes and all of that. So, but today I'm going to get to understand everything I need to know about menopause, and so I expect you to stay glued to your radio, because I have in the studio with me Dr. Isaac Arua. Did I call that name well?
Yes,
All right. Dr. Isaac Arua, welcome to Salt 98.1 FM Abakaliki.
thank you.
And thank you for joining me on the program Repost today. Dr. Isaac Arua is a consultant, a family physician, AE Futa. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for honoring this invite. You know, pulling people like this. But it's God that will reward you. Thank you for coming, sir. And today, quickly, we shall be having a clearer and vivid understanding of what menopause is. And basically, everyone or greater percentage of adults think menopause immediately there is cessation of menstrual cycle, right? And from 40 and above. Okay. So, but before we dive into understanding what menopause is, let me quickly, or let's just get into the business. Say what I want to say at the end of the program. Okay, sir, what is menopause beyond cessation of blood? Is there more to it, or just that basic?
Okay, thank you for having me, and good afternoon, listeners. I will first of all start by defining what menopause is.
Yeah.
The word menopause came from a combination of two Greek words. Meno means monthly,
Okay.
and then poso means to stop. It was coined from the usual monthly period of women,
Okay.
where it comes to an end. So menopause in a vague layman's term is the end of reproductive life of a woman. It's not the end of life. It's
Okay.
just end of reproductive life.
Okay. End of a stage.
End of of that stage. It's like somebody finishing primary school and moving over to secondary school. Contrary to some feelings, some quarters where people feel life is coming to an end once you are approaching menopause. So menopause technically also, and I would say scientifically, is the end of the menstrual period. When you have 12 calendar months, there must be 12 calendar months to really establish this woman has entered menopause. It's a stage,
okay,
and it has things associated under that stage. You have branches that make up the stage. The menopause is, you have a stage that precedes that menopause.
All right, we'll get to that. So, while I was doing research in respect to this, I understood that we have different kinds of menopause. I don't know how true that is. Can we establish that? Do we have?
Yes, I would say that. Let me also say that there's an age bracket for menopause.
Okay.
When you talk about menopause, like I said before, there are basically 5 stages that make up what we have as menopause. All right, you have the first stage, that's the perimenopausal period.
Okay.
You have the early menopause transition. You have the late menopause transition, the menopause itself, and post-menopause, because life does not end with menopause. Okay. Menopause is a snapshot of that process. And it's a period of, sometimes it can last for 2 to 8 years. In some individuals, you may have these 5 stages coming compressed between 2 to 8 years. We have an average age bracket. In Nigeria, we have between 45 and 55. That's the period when you expect a woman to go into menopause. There may be early menopause anyway that can come before that. There may even be premature menopause that can actually come even before the age of 40. But that is not very natural. The natural one we have in our environment is where the menopause is occurring between the ages of 45 and 55 for Nigeria, with a mean average age of 48 to 52.
Okay, so what leads a woman into this stage of life?
Well, thank you for asking that. Is biologically, when a woman is born, when a girl child is born, at the point of birth, that child is with about between 1 million to 2 million eggs, born with that maximum, that very high number of eggs. And these eggs, once life starts, once you are born, they start dropping, they start reducing. By the time a girl child attains menopause, menarche, that's getting to puberty.
Okay.
At puberty, the number of eggs must have decreased from 1 to 2 million to about 300,000.
Wow.
Surprisingly. And by the time the woman is getting to menopause, there are barely 1,000 eggs left. You find out that each cycle during the menstrual years, there is a loss of up to 400 eggs in the process. So what leads to menopause is part of life process, part of aging. There is usually the estrogen cannot work forever. And estrogen is the hormone that is produced by these ovaries. Ovaries, as one is getting older, they shrink. They go off. They die off. And as they are, I want to use that word, die off. Let me not bother with so much medical jargon.
It's becoming scary.
Right? So when they are going off, when they stop functioning, they lose the power to produce these estrogens.
Okay.
And the estrogen is the major hormone that keeps the woman, that makes the woman a woman, though we have also progesterone. So there is a decrease in estrogen. That's what you ask, what leads to this menopause. So, significant decrease in estrogen. But just before you go to the next stage, it's good to point out that women should not really feel it's just why women.
I wanted to ask you that question because it's becoming scary.
It's a world of men. No, it's not. There is also something that looks like it. There is
for the men.
Yeah, there's andropause.
Thank you. I think I'm beginning to relax.
It's just that the funny thing about andropause is that one, it is very subtle and it's so slow. So you don't expect it to show remarkably like that of women. I'll give you an instance. At the age of 30, that's the peak of even a man's fertility. That's the peak of testosterone activity. And it drops by 1% every year. So you can imagine if a man is 30 and you're waiting for when it will get to outright absence of testosterone to mimic menopause. It will take another 100 years plus the 30. You can imagine who will live for 130. That's why
should I say nature is partial here?
Not really partial. It's just how God.
That's what I'm saying, because we are the God's babies now.
So let's also look at it that there is andropause. So it's not only peculiar to men,
but it's subtle. We don't always say about that. Okay, so let's look at the symptoms of menopause.
Okay, thank you. The symptoms of menopause are very clear. We have very significant major symptoms. The hot flush is like rightly pointed out, is the first striking symptom that a woman will. Well, technically, the first thing the woman will notice is irregular menses. That's the first thing. Like I said, from the definition is cessation menopause. Remember, I gave you the Greek word. Meno means monthly, and then pause means stop. So that usual monthly period, something coming to bring it to an end. Yes, and it doesn't just abruptly cut. It presents with skipping some months. It may skip 1 month, 2 months. At time it may even skip 6 months. But we give that definition menopause when it has been absent for 12 calendar months.
Okay.
So even if a woman has skipped her menses intermittently and at the 10th month saw it again, she has actually not entered menopause. It's still in the process, perimenopausal, right? Then I come to the hot flush. What is hot flush? Hot flush is, I would say, is sudden, brief, and periodic feeling of warmth all over the body. Starts from the trunk and spreads to the head, to the legs. A woman experiences. It's a vasomotor symptom. I don't want to go into that. That's like a hot,
internal
exactly,
heat.
something like internal heat moves from the trunk. But the good thing is that God, in His infinite wisdom and mercy, one, it is not sustained. It's brief, like I said. It's a brief, periodic. It's not all the time. Nobody can survive being under such heat, for hours. The person will just die up. So it's periodic and it's spontaneous. You can't predict this is when it's going to come. You can't say it comes more in the daytime or in the night or in the afternoon or in the. Nothing really precipitates it, and it varies. Just like we have different phases. It varies. Some women can have as much as up to 7, 8 hot flushes in a day, and some may have.
Wow.
Yes, some.
Wow.
Yeah, there are some that can have that number of. It can be devastating. It can be a very inconveniencing situation, and then some can have one hot flush in 2 weeks. And God knows how inconveniencing it could be. So the hot flushes, most times within the period of 2 years, even though the menopause period can last from perimenopausal to that immediate menopause, where a patient, now not the woman enters, not a patient now, the woman enters into postmenopausal period. It can be as long as 2 to 7 years. But surprisingly, some women, most of those hot flushes occur just very close to the actual menopause. A few months to maybe at most 2 years just before the menopause, and maybe a year after hitting the menopause. That's 1 year into postmenopause. Remember, postmenopausal period, it lasts for lifetime. So assuming a woman hits menopause at 50 and lives for another 40 years, the other 40 years ahead is the whole of that 40 years ahead is postmenopausal period.
Yeah.
Okay. So these are the symptoms. Then also, I've mentioned the major symptoms, but there are also some minor. There are also symptoms. Mood swings. You notice the woman have mood swings. Sometimes anxiety. Some of them can show some. There may be some skin issues. You notice that the skin gets sad. Okay. The skin sometimes, because of the thinning of the skin, as estrogen drop, the bulk, over 80% of what happens within this period is caused by the drop in estrogen. Okay. When there is a drop in estrogen, that dramatic drop in estrogen, there's also reduced collagen tissue on the skin, and there's also reduced elastin. These are the things that make women look very fine, very supple. That's kind of that beauty. When this estrogen drop, it goes with some of the things it came with, and you see the skin getting thinner and dry. Some may have some sleep problems. Some women may have some sleep problems. Some may have very funny mood swings. They move from one mood to another, get irritable, get excited, get withdrawn intermittently, just like that. So these are the symptoms that a woman can have. And you say these are symptoms that are related to menopause.
Okay, this thing is kind of scary. Like you feel, what is really happening? And you talked about these hot flashes. Is there any way one can actually, what can help a woman overcome that, all the issues surrounding the hot flashes?
Thank you. Not only the
just this hot flash, because we are saying yes, there are myths you need to bust in this program today.
Now, there are things a woman can do. You can't,
particularly to overcome.
Yes. Outrightly, nobody can stop menopause.
Yeah.
It is not within the powers of man and science to stop menopause. It's a process. It's like, the adage that says once you're born, you've signed to die. Anybody born will surely die. It's just a matter of time.
Okay.
All right. So once you're a woman, you will get to menopause. It's just a matter of, as far as you're alive, you will get to menopause. So one of the things we can do is we encourage women to feed well, good nutrition.
Will it stop the hot flashes?
It will reduce it.
Okay. I will come back to that question, because it's going to lead you to generally looking at what we can do to help us manage menopause. Okay, but before we get to that, I wanted to ask if there is any way we can. This question is funny because it's just like trying to say if we can challenge nature. But before that, let's look at the myths around menopause, because I want you to bust some of these myths that people assume are actually facts, but I don't know if they are facts or not. So you are here to correct this, to bust the myth with the facts. Okay, people say that once you turn 50, menopause takes over. I don't know, but from your explanations, it seems it's not just about 50.
It's not just about 50. Like I said earlier on, even the statistics, the Nigerian woman is between 45 and 55. But you know, this is in the majority. It's not absolute. Last 2 weeks, we had a woman that delivered, a 61-year-old woman that put to bed, and it was she couldn't have put to bed without viable eggs. You understand? That could have been very miraculously done, but it exists, and it's on record that it existed. All right. So it's not absolutely. It has a range. It's not like when you describe an average woman in Nigeria is between 4 feet to 6 feet. There are few that may be 6.2, and there are still few women that are less than, very few, maybe the dwarfs that are less than 4 feet.
Okay. So then we have this myth where people say that menopause means depression, anxiety, mood swings, and memory loss.
Not at all. These are just the symptoms that go with both menopause and perimenopausal era. And there are solutions to it. It's also good to look at the good part of menopause. And in fact, I think that's one of the reasons why we are here to talk about it.
Yeah, we look at that.
Women can look at it and cheer up. It's not absolute. I agree. There are symptoms of, clinical features of menopause. A woman feels suddenly, so suddenly I will stop being reproductive.
I'll stop being beautiful.
Stop, maybe something like that. Stop looking too attractive.
Okay, so a woman no longer enjoys sex, or her spouse no longer enjoys having sex with her once she hits menopause. How true is that?
That is absolutely not true.
Okay.
Granted the fact that there is dryness in the vaginal region due to the same thing I've mentioned, due to estrogen reduction, and also the thinning of the skin, that goes with the same estrogen reduction. Now, it goes in two ways. Yes, because of that difficulty, that pain, that discomfort that may be experienced because of reduced lubrication of the birth canal during sexual intercourse, a woman may not enjoy sex. But on the other hand, it's been on record that some women rather enjoy sex better when they have hit menopause. I give you the reason. They are freer. They are not afraid of pregnancy. It gives them that's more enthusiasm, to have sex. So it's actually a myth. It's not absolute.
It's a two-way thing.
It's a two-way thing.
Okay.
And which part of the thing we are discussing, and part of the advocacy is encouragement to also look at the positive part of menopause and be happy to be menopausal.
Embrace it.
Be excited
Okay, so we have this myth. All women have hot flashes during menopause. All women.
80%. The record says 80%. 80%. It's not. There's no never in medicine.
No, it's not 100%.
Okay. Some may have it as very inconveniencing. Some is so negligible that they almost don't know that they even have it. Just like going to deliver, some may have very turbulent pregnancies, and some deliver in the farm and carry the baby and come back. While others, you are running about, referral and all that.
Okay.
But they're all deliveries.
Yeah. Okay, so finally on the myth, hormone therapy causes breast cancer and heart attack and stroke.
Yes, it increases the chances.
Of, at that age, at that stage of life.
Yes. Okay. So we only consider hormone replacement therapy, especially in overseas. It's not very common in our environment, where the symptoms of the menopause are so overwhelming and incapacitating on the patient, on the woman. Then, assuming a woman cannot go to work because of hot flushes, or is so depressed, you may consider hormone replacement therapy. But like I said before, you can't actually. It's like blocking a river. You only have to rechannel it. Anytime you stop the hormone replacement therapy,
it comes back.
of course, it's a
Okay.
process.
So, but is there any way we can actually extend the hand of time in respect to a woman coming into the stage?
There is nothing medically as at now, I don't know if tomorrow, that you can use to postpone
Menopause.
to delay menopause. Rather, there are things that can actually give you premature menopause. Maybe a patient that has surgery, remove the ovaries for whatever reason, maybe the ovaries got cancerous or something, and you do a bilateral hysterectomy at the age of 35. That patient can actually go into premature menopause, before the age of 40. Some autoimmune sicknesses can also precipitate that, but presently there's nothing you can use. It's like
it will come when
it will come.
come.
Yes, it will surely come.
Okay. All right. So now let's look at the impact of this stage of life in the life of a woman. How
Thank you
does
so
it
much.
impact?
Its impacts, I would say, starts with
We have negative, positive.
yes, and majorly how the woman sees menopause, what the woman sees menopause to be. Menopause has also been found to have encouraged so many women. There is a renewed zest for life at menopause, really. If you notice, most of the very powerful women are menopausal women.
Hmm. Hmm.
Women are more confident
At this stage
at
of
this
life.
stage. They are bolder. They are more confident. They can plan for, develop new goals for their lives. They have finished their fertility career, which seems to be the primary purpose in our environment of womanhood. It's not supposed to be so. So there are a lot of good things to look look up to in menopause. It's just, what does the woman know about menopause? What does she feel about menopause? In fact, even the problem, the symptoms, the discomforts of menopause, most of them have something that you can use to ameliorate it. I'll give you an instance.
Okay.
When a patient is a woman, rather, sorry, when a woman is, the menopause is too much on the skin, there are some, is that bad that they can have some pigmentations on their faces, especially on the cheek. We call it melasma, something. So a woman is having this thing, dryness,
breakouts,
wrinkles, and all that. That woman can be encouraged to use collagen containing.
Yeah, because I see a lot of collagen gummies and all of that to help.
They may not correct it completely, but they help it.
Okay.
In fact, for some of us, that is actually when women even need makeup.
Really?
Because the conventional vibrant woman that has not reached menopause, by virtue of the estrogen, progesterone in the system, is naturally beautiful.
Okay.
May not need all those things. Everything is working perfectly well. Everything, the shape, the contours, menopause, like I said before, it affects different parts of woman's body. Even the 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 wonderful curved hips, they are gradually lost at menopause.
Wow.
And you see, yes, and you see how many fats, how many shapy elderly women can you point at? Okay. They were once shapy.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Our grandmothers, mothers, they were once shapy. But at menopause, woman loses estrogen. You find out that the fat that stays at the hip, at the counters, at the waist, they move, aggravate to the front.
Okay.
In front of that. For the Igbos, okay. Is actually that's menopausal period. You have found out that it's not that time come on, no man. Okay. Do you understand? Overall form, which have happened childbearing era. But because of what goes with menopause, you find out that the fat is deposited.
Okay, before you continue with this discussion, let me open the phone line so that we can take one or two calls before we leave. The number is 0813-593-3112. 0813-593-3112. Call us and then ask questions. The men ask questions. Most of these men that have women that are already going through this stage, they are already there. You need to ask questions so that you know how to pamper this woman. Yes, she needs all the pampering. Thank you for rejoining us on the program Repose on Salt 98.1 FM Abakaliki. And today we have been looking at understanding menopause with Dr. Isaac Arua. He is a consultant family physician with AE Futa here in Abakaliki, Ebonyi State. Once again, thank you for still staying here with me on the program.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doc. Okay, and we're actually looking at the impact of menopause in the how it impacts a woman generally. At this point, I'll open the phone line for you to call in and make your contribution on the program. The number is 0813 593 3112. 0813 593 3112. Oga, call us and ask question how Madame has actually been behaving and how you will help her, because this is another stage. For me, Doc, I must confess that it's scary. I mean, for you to know that at some point in your life you get to that stage where there's this drive that comes with being at your prime. Then you leave that stage to where everyone admires you, to that point where you just have to manage your life at that point and deal with a lot of things. I mean, this hot flashes. Like when I heard that word for the first time, I told you I was still an undergraduate. And when these women, beautiful women, were talking about hot flashes and all of that, it has been in my head. This is more than 10 years ago, and to now, for me to when I anyway, is we can't question God, like you said, that nothing can be done to alter this stage of life, and it's a beautiful stage of life that everyone should embrace with an open heart. All right, so let's look at the impact in the life of a woman. Positively, you have been telling us how it impacts a woman. Fine. All right, so call in and ask a question. The number is 0803 593 3112. All right, Doc, you have the mic.
Okay, thank you so much. Menopause is not widely discussed.
Yeah.
Even at home, it's almost shrouded in secrecy.
Yes.
And it is mythically believed women should just quietly go about
into
it and,
that stage and relax. There.
In those days also, we found out that our forefathers, those periods of approaching menopause, all those symptoms when their wife then manifest, that's the period that they are being primed to get another wife. Say this one is nagging, not knowing that she may not really be nagging. It's just what is happening around her.
Yeah,
it's making her a bit on the edge, mood swings, subtle depression, anxiety. The feeling of uncertainty. What is the next stage? Where am I going to? Is this still me? Will I just suddenly become less attractive and all that? But with the right mindset, it's nothing. There's nothing in it. It's like when we say old age is as inevitable as death. It's just a process.
Okay. Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, dear friend.
Your name and your location.
Okay. I am Mali Friday, calling from Ghana.
Please step away from your radio.
Mali Friday.
Okay.
Calling from Ghana.
Okay, go ahead with your question.
Is it when women are at this stage of menopause, men are afraid of having sex with them, thinking of contracting disease thereafter? Is it true?
Doc, keep listening to your radio. We have a consultant here with us.
Thank you very much, Namdi from Esanot. It's not true that menopause does not go on its own, does not carry along infection. It's these things they are overwhelmed by myths.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Those days when, because of the dryness of the vagina, most women will be reluctant to have sex with their husband, and their husband will interpret it to mean maybe she has contacted something.
Okay.
Or when they express pain on intercourse, it will be interpreted to be a hair. Who knows? She must have contacted Goya. That's why it's having that pain. Okay. And the woman, not willing to keep having that pain, pulls herself, goes into her shell. I'm battling with hot flushes, and I'm still facing this other side of my conjugal responsibility. All those things. It doesn't go with that. The woman has infection. No. Anybody can have infection, perimenopausal, postmenopausal, or even before. It's completely not synonymous. It's not associated with menopause.
Okay. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, your name and where you're calling from?
Okay, my name is Ugo Peter. I'm calling from Mungu.
Okay, Ugo, okay, go ahead.
Okay, I want to ask Doc if you can throw more light on hot flash and premature menopause. If there is any solution on how the woman can prevent it.
Okay.
Okay.
That's my question. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Peter.
Peter.
Peter. Well, like I said before, hot flushes, they are brief, intermittent, and sudden feeling of warmth that a woman experiences during the menopausal period. That's perimenopausal to menopause, even up to 1 year from that's 1 year into postmenopause. But you won't have a woman 70 telling you I'm having hot flushes. It must have completely waned.
Okay.
Now I come to the solution. Like I said before, there is actually nothing you can do to completely strike out, like a river that is flowing and you don't want to block it. You can build a dam. You only rechannel it or reduce the pressure that is coming.
Okay.
You want to modulate what is coming. So there are people take some supplements, that can help them reduce those hot flushes. And we were coming to talk about nutrition that can actually, there are things, there are fruits that we call cooling fruits, something like banana, apple, spinach. They're all cooling. They help in reducing hot flushes.
Okay, we'll get to that point. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Your name and where you're calling from? Please do well to call us back. The number is 0813-593-3112. Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, a very good afternoon to you.
Your name and your location?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
My name is Emeka Mokore.
Emeka Mokore. Okay, go ahead, sir.
Mine is a question. There is this thing I discovered in our society. You see some women, maybe when they are having menopause, you see them like cry. You would check whether it is crying, but it is not. You check whether it is sweet. I don't know the root cause of that thing, or they just purposely do it. Thank you.
Sir, please, you may have to rephrase that question because I didn't get the question. Doc, did you get that?
I didn't really
Okay, please call us back and then ask the question again. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You're welcome to Salt FM. Your name and your location?
My name is Jack from America in the local government area.
Your name is?
My own is Anakio.
Okay. Okay, please do call us back. Okay, Doc, let's look at the impact generally of how does this menopause, this stage of life, impact the life of a woman?
Thank you very much. The impact, I've mentioned a few of them in the past. There are things that a woman gets susceptible to, for instance, at menopause, there's increased susceptibility or vulnerability to osteoporosis. Osteoporosis is when the bone gets more brittle.
Okay.
All right. The reduction in estrogen is part of the hormone that helps the bones of the woman to be more ductile and firm. So with the drop of the estrogen, these bones get a bit brittle. In fact, you can notice that's why you see women having maybe fracture of the femur, head of femur, all those, which is not as common as it is in women. It's not like that in men. So a woman also can be more vulnerable to cardiovascular diseases due to the reduction in estrogen also. And like the symptoms I've mentioned before, they are inconveniencing actually. And we actually encourage men, the partners, to understand with them and help them, encourage them, see it as they are not just being this. There's something that is happening in them. You find out that
nature is
yes,
taking
yes.
its
After
place.
that period, if you're patient with them, after that period, they will come back, to who they used to be.
Okay, so after this period, the woman goes back to being normal again.
Normal, especially with that mood swings and that. The skin may not go back. The skin may
Okay.
not go back supple, may not go back to that curvy shapes. But those ones that are in the mind, like their depression, mood swings, they are restored after that period.
Hello, good afternoon. Please, Mr. John, please go ahead. Stay away from your radio, then you call us back. Okay, the number is 0813-593-3112. If you are calling, please stay away from your radio so we can have a hit-free conversation. All right, okay, have the mic. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Your name and your location.
My name is Josiah. I'm calling from Ohauku.
Keziah.
Josiah.
Yes.
Josiah, go ahead with your question.
I want to ask if this menopause also apply in men.
Okay. All right, listen to your radio. The doctor will respond.
Thank you, Mr. Josiah from Ohugu. Like I said before, menopause occurs in women, but there's also something that looks like it in men that we call andropause, which is a gradual decrease in testosterone level in the man. And it starts dropping from the age of 30. It drops so slowly and so softly that it's almost not noticeable. You can imagine 1% per year. So it takes 100 years for it to completely go out.
If not that I'm born again, I will say that God is fine.
No. You see, there's a gradual decrease in the strength, energy level of the man. From 30, it begins to drop gradually. Even sexual activity, vibrance, it begins to drop. It's just that it's slow and subtle. So it's not, you may not really give it a sharp notice like the one, these counterparts in the female gender.
All right, you're also Salt FM Abakaliki, and so far we have been looking at the comprehensive knowledge of a menopause. And of course, you know that when we talk menopause, we talk women. Hello, good afternoon. Hello. Okay, please do call us back. The number is 0813-593-3112. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Come on, You're welcome. You're welcome. Your name and your location.
My name is Mercy from Convent.
Mercy, where are you calling from?
From Convent.
From Convent. Go ahead with your question. Okay, please call us back. Doc, please go ahead.
Okay, I was talking about the impacts of menopause on the woman. I've talked about some of the negative impacts, and I've also mentioned a few of the positive impacts.
Okay.
And we encourage every woman to look at the positive impacts. There is a renewed zeal, zest for life. Look at it. It's a phase, it's a promotion. Somebody that finished primary school and is going to secondary school should not feel bad at how come primary school is ending. Just like that. Primary school is over and you have to face the secondary school. So that's just, it's a stage.
Okay.
It should be welcomed. It should be embraced with excitement.
Okay, so how can this stage of life be managed?
Okay, thank you so much. Like I've said initially, there are things we can do to ameliorate to the barest minimum the negative impact of menopause. We encourage women to exercise. They mustn't register in the gym. Brisk walking, brisk walking. You can stroll.
Okay.
Weight bearing, you can jog.
Okay, let me take this call. Hello, good afternoon. Your name and your location.
Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Mercy.
Okay, Mercy. You called from Convent.
Yes, ma'am. I want to ask, does early menstruation any menopause?
Okay, yeah, that's another question. People say that when you start early, like at 10, 11 to menstruate, is you're also going to start your menopause stage very early. Uh,
There is no study that confirms that
okay,
it's not related to when you started and when there's no direct correlation between when you started and when you're going to
to
end.
end. Okay, Mercy, I think that question is answered. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, yeah, your name and where you're calling us from. Okay, Doc, please go ahead.
Okay, I was saying that
How it can be
it can be
managed.
managed.
Yeah.
You have talked about exercise. We call it weight bearing exercise. It's not the type that you just lie down in your bed and be rolling, twisting your leg and said you're doing exercise. It's
Okay.
weight bearing exercise when you have to work out. Brisk walk. We encourage, surprisingly, the Japanese that will drive most of their cars here, they trek a lot in Japan. If you went to Japan, they trek a lot, men and women. They trek a lot. And we encourage exercise. An average adult in medicine needs about 10,000 steps each
Every
day.
day.
Yes, to remain fit. And that's about 1.5 hours walk.
1.5 hours.
Yes. Yeah, we are not saying that you should start counting 1, 2, 2,300 steps.
We can actually get a watch. There's a research that helps you keep
many of our
count.
environment, most people might not afford it. There's
Okay.
even a pedometer that you can use at home. You work on it and it will be writing 1, 2, 3. You hit 10,000. You walk away. Most rich people do that. So they don't, for security reasons, they can't be seen trekking. So I encourage people, patients, women, men, if your church is not so far, you can trek to church. People know you have a car. If the market is not so far, place of work, especially when you are not going to sweat while doing that.
Okay, all right. Go ahead, sir.
So we also encourage good nutrition. What do I mean by good nutrition? There is something we call healthy diets presently that should be embraced by all adults above the age of 40. It's not just women. It's going to help women a lot.
Okay.
That's healthy diet is having all your...
Hello, good afternoon. Your name and your location. Your name again?
Namdi.
My name is Roland.
Roland, go ahead. From Enugu State?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
I have two questions to ask. Number one is, early menopause, can it be revised? Can one revise any early menopause, like one that is up to that, like 30 something? And if there's a menopause, can it be revised?
Okay. What's it?
And also, early childbirth. If a woman starts giving birth early, can she enter menopause early too?
At what age do you consider early birth?
Like early menopause is like 30 now, 30.
No, I mean early birth. Early birth. What age are you looking at?
Like 19 years now.
Okay.
If a woman starts giving birth at the age of 19, is it a sign that she might also enter menopause before 45?
Okay, all right. The doctor will respond to that. Listen to your radio.
Okay, thank you, Roland. Your first question was, can early menopause be revived? I guess what you mean is
can it be altered?
Can alter it or restore
or postpone it.
Postpone it. I've said before that you can actually not postpone menopause. There is no drug presently that can delay menopause coming. However, I would say that for some people, if the symptoms the patient is having is overwhelming, you can give hormone replacement therapy. They tend to mimic a normal estrogen level. They tend to mimic a normal reproductive life period. Do you understand?
Yeah.
That's what they do. But to reverse or to completely bring back menopause as it's coming, there's nothing you can do about it. And then you ask whether early birth can predispose. No, the answer is no. Because early birth is also somehow related to early menarche. I guess that's what he meant. It's not.
Okay. Hello. Good afternoon. Hello. All right. Please do call us back. You have the mic, Doc.
Okay. Thank you. I was saying that the healthy nutrition is having your food, a diet, 70% vegetables, and you spread the other 30% to your other
classes of food.
classes of food, maybe it's carbohydrates, proteins, vitamin. But let your diet, let your food be 70% vegetables. And I've said there are some fruits that we encourage women to take. It helps. It significantly ameliorates the impact of menopause, the symptoms we mentioned that before. We encourage them to take food, citrus, oranges, all right? And then most importantly, because of hot plus is the most discomforting of all the symptoms. In fact, it's the most popular of all the symptoms of menopause. We encourage women to take things we call cooling fruits. Banana is one of it. Apple is one of it. We encourage them to take vegetables like spinach. They cool, they reduce it's like cushioning effect. It's like padding something that you're going to land on. It won't stop you from landing. You will land, but it reduces the impact of that landing. All right?
Yeah.
So these are the things that we encourage women to do. Of course, we also talk about the ones that has to do with the skin. We've talked about using
collagen,
emollients, yes, and collagen containing creams. Even the vaginal dryness, there are creams that we can use that we encourage such women to use. And then self-care. Work on your mind also. I know that embrace menopause with excitement. It's a blessing that you're getting old, that you're aging. Many people may not have that privilege, to age. All right.
Okay. Hello. Good afternoon.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Your name and your location.
Okay. My name is Ugochukwu. I'm calling from Abakaliki.
Ugochukwu, go ahead.
Okay. What I want to ask is this. So, how does this model this monopause? And secondly,
Ugo, you may have to repeat the first question. Kugari Godi, that's your first question.
Okay. What I mean is that this monopause empowers people. That is what I mean. So I want to get to that. I want to know whether this monopause empowers young people after they have registered. That is what I mean.
After they have registered?
Yes, to the company.
Okay, what's your second question?
Okay, my second question is, so this monopause, does it require age limit? Does it mean that they have a age that when it reaches, someone cannot jump on, everybody can join the company?
All right, thank you very much, Ugochukwu. You called from Abakaliki. Let me even start by saying that this is not a company. We are not talking about registration. We are not talking about empowerment. We are talking health. And we are looking at menopause. Menopause. So that is how you can help her manage that stage of life. We are not talking about empowerment or company or registration. Thank you and God bless you. Hello, good afternoon. Yeah, your name and your location.
My name is Arize. I'm calling from the South Oneke.
All right, Arize, go ahead. Okay, doctor, please take the stage.
All right, thank you, listeners. So we encourage women generally to embrace menopause with excitement, with preparation that these things are going to come.
Okay.
And then what do I do when they come? I'm aware also there are supplements, even though they are not always recommended in the medical profession, but there are supplements that help. Some of those supplements contain some of these fruits that we have mentioned, and they help in so that it's put in caplet forms.
Okay.
And they help women. I have seen, not once, I've seen women, they know where to access them, those supplements, and they take the ones they discuss among them, say, oh, it has started happening to me. There's something I took.
Oh,
and you can take it. I will link you to where you get it.
All right. Thank you very much. Before we go on the program, because of our time, okay, so let me just say, I've had callers. I can't take their calls, but not intentional. Sorry, I know doctor has been actually, he has done a lot of good work here to have given vivid explanation of what menopause is and what's how we can manage menopause. But before we go, doc, as a parting word, um, let me ask, and it's going to be a parting word, which would be an advice on menopause to your gender first?
Thank you so much. I will advise men should also look at menopause as a natural process,
Okay.
and appreciate that there is impact of menopause on the woman, their spouses, and help them go through it happily and gently, without them suffering the impact adversely. I think we've talked about what they can help them, encourage them.
Please repeat it again.
They can help them appreciate that this, what is happening to the woman, is a natural process that must surely come. It's not as if she has changed. She may not have particularly, it's not as if she has joined bad gangs, the house. It's not as if people are advising her.
Oh, waganya.
It's a natural, it's a stage of life.
Okay.
And should be allowed to run. After it, you come back to yourself to a reasonable extent. Okay. And there are things that we have mentioned before that can help the woman go through it with minimal devastating impacts. Thank you.
All right. And again, finally, before we go to your gender, tell them, because these people that feel that at this stage of life, instead of, like you rightly mentioned, our fathers, then they will go for another wife instead of encouraging the present wife.
They didn't understand menopause.
Yeah, make your gender understand it now.
That's why I said that men should understand that
and
menopause
is the other room experience.
The other room experience.
Yes.
Well, it
tell
may
them
not
what
be,
to do.
It may not be as it used to be.
Okay.
It may not be as it used to be. And the other room experience for the men is also a state of is worth waiting for.
Okay.
All right. So you can adjust, make that sacrifice, make that adjustment to accommodate that it may not be as it used to be.
They can walk in and get lubricants as well for their wives.
I've mentioned it before.
Yes, and I needed you to say it with your mouth again.
They can get lubricants. Because of our environment, people feel, why going to get a lubricant?
When they feel that
conjugal right, conjugal right. But I think we've all heard, and I believe when we think about it, we can do the right thing. Every one of us.
Thank you very much. Well, you are on to Salt FM Abakaliki, and so far on Ripples today, we have been looking at menopause, the impact and how it can be managed. And of course, from Doc here in the studio, Dr. Isaac Arua, who is a consultant family physician with AE Futa. And he has said so much, and personally, I gained a lot of knowledge. And thank you very much for coming on the program, sir.
Thank you.
All right. I know you always say God bless. This man is somebody you call and you always say God bless. He doesn't miss it. All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Ara, for your time here on Salt FM, on Ripples on Salt FM Abakaliki. And to you listening to us out there, I know you have heard one or two things that will help you, because all hands has to be on deck. All hands must be on deck for us to help our family. Everybody will live, in fact, peace, gadi brekete. The moment to begin to put into practice what we have learned today, as it has to do with menopause. It's a stage of life that every woman should embrace with an open heart. And I'm beginning to embrace it too, Ade Mama, because I know that I will surely get to that place someday. And thank you again and again for every one of you that were able to call through. Friday, you called from Ezanos, Igwo K. Peter from Umbo, Emeka, Josiah, Mercy, Roland, Ugochukwu, Arinze, and the people their own did not go through. Thank you very much for being part of the program. Thank you for your contributions. Let's do it again next week, Saturday, same time on Soul.